Yo, welcome back, y'all. Welcome back to Yin Vision. I'm Yin. How you been? Today, I'm gonna talk to you about accepting flaws about yourself. Now, this doesn't mean accept toxic things about yourself. That's not what this is. That's not what this is. This is about accepting certain parts of yourself that you cannot change and knowing the difference between the things you can change and should change and things you can't change and or maybe you don't want to change, right? And accepting those things, right? And so here's the thing. The last video I talked about identifying with your job and learning to figure out what those parts of you, who you are and everything. And in that I mentioned flaws, and I mentioned that flaws are one of those things that you kind of have to look at on paper, right? If you look at it on paper, it becomes easier, it becomes visceral. You see it, right? It's not something that's ephemeral in your mind. It's not an abstract concept anymore. It's more hardened, right? When you write things down, it's powerful because you see it. It is now a thing that exists in this world, in this physical plane, and it's harder to escape, right? It's now on the forefront of your mind. It's not a subconscious thing anymore. It is now conscious. It is now the front of your conscience. And so one of the things you have to kind of do yourself a favor is categorize those things, right? I have a flaw. What do I want to do with that flaw? I don't know. Let's say the flaw is you have a bad habit. Let's say the bad habit is it's a tick. Maybe it's a tick. It's not a bad habit. Maybe it's a tick. You have to bite your nails. Now, is that thing part of who you are as far as you've done it since you were a child and you're more comfortable doing that and you've accepted that part? Okay, write that down on that side. Is it something that you want to change? Okay, write that part in that section. Is it something that you don't want to change but accept it, right? Those are the three categories. I accepted it. I don't want to change it. I don't accept it. I want to change it. I cannot change it regardless of me wanting to or not, right? Those are the three categories. And in each of those categories, you accept it in some degree, right? By wanting to change it, you've accepted this is a bad thing I don't like. And you are going to work towards it. It is now a goal. So now you set the goal. And if you go back to my 30-day challenge, I talked about, you can do it in pieces, right? You can break those things down. These are things that make you improved, right? You are self-improving by taking these little steps, incremental steps, and setting yourself a goal and making that happen. You've actually, in a way, improved yourself 2 times. One is you're removing the habit, whatever the flaw may be. And then 2, you're now giving yourself the strength, the experience, right? Because we as humans, we get stronger with experience. The experiences we have they're who we are. The culmination of who we are our experiences. So your ability to change yourself willingly gives you the ability to do more of that in the future, right? I'm gonna say that again. Your ability to do that will allow you to do that again with other things in the future. So it makes you stronger and better. The things you don't like about yourself today, I don't know, let's say you're overweight and you work on that and you lose weight. And then the next habit you have that you don't like is you have a habit of eating stuff off the floor or something like that, something that's like not very seen as sanitary. So now you're cutting all those little habits that are just, slowly but surely you're tightening up parts of yourself. You're tightening parts of yourself up to match the vision of the person who you want to be. So now your identity is becoming this thing that you have control over, that you've defined, that you forged. You forged this, you built this, you created this. You are that person who changes things around you about yourself. You have the power. You are the master of your own existence as a result of that, right? You're not letting fate happen to you. You are happening to fate, right? So you are creating that fate. That's the power of humanity, in my opinion. Our ability to cognitively look at something and say, I don't like this, I'm gonna change this, and you change it. That's powerful. There's nothing else like that. Like, we are the only ones who are like, we hate this thing about us that we need to change, and we change it. Some people may say it's evolution, it's like part of survival. You can call it whatever you want to call it. I call it a advancement in ourselves, right? It's a self-improvement portion of ourselves, right? It is that machine part of ourselves that is part of our higher level of thinking. Because a lot of people will be like, oh, well, anybody can do it. No, some people just look at that situation and say, nah, I can never do that. That mindset, which is a very poisonous mindset, is very popular nowadays, especially. So I think that's why when people say, it's a part of, the machine, as far as like everybody can do it, I think I disagree. I think it's a willingness to do it. The willingness part of it is like the part of it that is different, that makes you different, that makes you, special, because you had stepped up into that next level of, I'm going to change this part of myself. Anyways, let me know what you think about that. Have you had a habit that was really bad that you wanted to change? Let me know in the comment section below. Have a great day. Bye-bye.